We're switching over. I'm switching over. This is the San Carlos Computer Club. I'm Scott Stimson from International Computer Solutions. And I'm here with people in person at Tequila's for our first test of an in-person meeting as well as a virtual meeting at the same time. Hopefully, you guys are able to see us here.
People are falling through the cracks.
We've got
If they talk, they don't come back up.
We've got Bill, Cheryl, Paul, and myself gathered around a small table full of tech gear. And like I was just mentioning, our hope, right now internet is really bad here. It's working at the moment better than I would expect it to, but it's still fairly lousy. They're gonna report the internet again. And then we've talked with Jonathan. He's going to bring us a TV set that we can stick at the end of the table. And I will use that as a secondary monitor, and I will have the meet appearing on that monitor. So you can participate with the people that are in person. Hopefully this will work. Probably take us the rest of the season to get all the kinks worked out of it. Chester, you have your hand up. What do you got to contribute?
Since this is going out internationally, I would suggest or recommend that you tell the world that you are in San Carlos, Sonora, Mexico.
All right. Well, you just did it.
You're the official announcer.
Thank you, Chester. We're making it clear. We are in San Carlos, Sonora, Mexico, in Tequila's. 10 o'clock on Tuesdays. We're not going to change our meet time because I need the extra time to set up this equipment when I show up. I've been assured this is their slowest day, so they're more than happy to have us in here.
There you go. Yeah, I don't see too many other people.
Nope, not a lot's going on. I'm going to drop the link to the document of possible topics I sent out to you guys yesterday. I don't know if you guys have it ready, but I will put it in the in-call meeting. And I got a bunch of stuff on it, and we don't have to get to any of it because we're here to talk about what you guys bring to the table. I always look at it as backup. Jim, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, give me your contact information again. I sent you a couple of texts and an email, and I'm just not getting through to you.
Okay, it's scott@internationalcs.net. I don't mind announcing any of this online because this is how I do business.
Right.
And the phone number is country code 52, area code 622. The phone number is 855-8299. And our office number, the last 7 digits show up.
Yeah.
But that's just the way we roll now. If you're going to make a voice call to anyone, they're not going to answer you unless you're in the contact list.
Yeah, that's so true.
So Scott, tell me again your email address. Do you have one that's a .com?
Yeah, no. Well, I guess I do, but it's ancient. I don't even know I don't think it'll work.
Well, the one I have is internationalcsl@gmail.com.
It's not L, it's I. It's internationalcsi@gmail.
Oh, CSI.com.
The email?
Well, the easy one is scott@internationalcs.net. It's at least rolls right off the tongue.
International.
But international CS, whatever that is, an I or an L, I don't have my glasses on.
It's an I.
gmail.com is a good email.
That's a good one, yeah.
Okay.
International CS.
He's on WhatsApp also.
.com.
And WhatsApp, of course.
Yeah,
Hey, you got your hand up.
Oh, I forget about it. WhatsApp.
Pop, did you have a question or wanted to contribute something? Terry Stimson, are you there?
This one?
He's muted.
No, he's not muted.
I show him muted.
Oh, really? On my screen, I don't see him muted.
I show him muted. And I don't see a picture. I just see it.
Cheryl muted.
Hand up.
Haynes? Oh, I'm sorry.
James Burton.
Oh.
B-U-R-D.
Oh, of course it is. I'm sorry. I should have just called him Carolyn.
Okay.
You're using her computer.
I am muted right now. Are you talking to me?
Yes, about you.
Yeah, just about you.
You like calling me.
Hey, Bob, if you've got a question, I can't hear you. I'd be happy to answer it or contribute
He's
it to our
muted.
discussion.
No,
He
it
is-
doesn't say.
He's muted.
Yeah, Jess, that's what Judy's saying too. I don't see him as muted.
I don't.
I do.
I just see his hand up. I see your hand up too. Jess, do you want to contribute something else?
Well, I don't want to interfere with Terry.
Well, I guess he's on the back burner because he's not answering us. So go right ahead, Chester.
Well, I would like an opinion. I have have enjoyed very much for 7.5 years. I've had an Apple 27-inch all-in-one computer. And I've complained on this group before that it seems to be locking up on me, which is probably a worn out. And so I'm thinking about an option or two as to replacing it because it is now hanging up 2 or 3 times a day, and or maybe more. And I'm thinking
So
that
far,
I have a very good late model
They
laptop.
slowed me down because I have Adelo. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. Jonathan, we all care about
Okay.
your internet connection.
Because they're telling me that they slowed me down because I have not paid last month, but I did. So they're
Bill's is not,
Oh, mine's blocked because I'm talking across Bill's.
right. But everybody has their mic blocked now. Nobody does.
How about me?
No, you're fine.
You're completely
I'm not
blocked. We
blocked,
can't hear you.
Cheryl's is blocked. Her mic is off.
Cheryl turned hers off because
Now
I
it's
didn't.
on.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You just say it here.
Yeah, we purposely have ours muted. Muted and blocked seems to be 2 different words.
Exactly. I used the wrong word. It's muted.
And-
It shows you're muted, but
All
it's
right.
your mute.
Okay, this is the information we're looking for. Let me see if
Share
we're in
screen.
settings. I'm doing a search at the top of settings to site
Share your screen.
settings. Oh, I don't know.
Or
You
pin it.
can't see it?
I can.
Pin it or share it.
Look how tiny.
To do a search for site settings, I can't share the screen right now because I'm in, let me see. Let me see if oh, now I can see everybody. I wonder if they just turned up our internet. I got everybody on screen now. That's awesome. But Dad's not there and he's the one that needs this info.
He's redoing.
He'll be back in.
As a text site.
Came out and went back in. So if you can see my screen, if you're focusing on me,
I pinned you so I can see it.
I'm in settings in the Chrome browser. I did site settings for the search. And then there's this option that says site settings down here. And if you click on that and scroll down, you've got these levels of permissions. And what Dad's looking for is this microphone permission here, sites that ask to use your microphone. And then there's a list down here of sites that are allowed and sites that are not allowed. And he has blocked it. So he's blocked it. He may have to remove that from not allowed to use your microphone. And so we'll keep that up for.
I'd like to comment that both you and Cheryl show that you're muted, but you're not.
Yeah, well, that's what we were saying is because we're gathered together, we had to pick a microphone we would all talk across.
And
And
Terry's
Bill-
back also.
Bill's iPad has better speakers and a good omnidirectional microphone on it. So we're using Bill as our main interface. And Dad, if you can see my screen, if you go in, it'll look like this. And well, it'll look like this. And if you go to search settings and type in site settings, SITE, site settings, you'll see this under privacy and security, this option here that says site settings. And if you go into that, it'll list, if you scroll down, it'll list permissions for location, camera, microphone, notifications, background syncing, and you want to click on the microphone, and this lists out the websites that are allowed to use your microphone and the ones that are blocked from using the microphone. And you want to remove it from not allowed to use your microphone, and it should ask you again. I think internet just went up. Yeah, it looks good. Isn't that a typical Telmex thing? What was that? Somebody's. Oh,
Yeah.
Cheryl must have gotten away from her hearing aids must have gotten disconnected from her pad.
She's on the phone.
Can you hit?
Now there's no noise at all.
On, because
Okay,
okay,
on.
there we go.
And I walked back in, so now it's on my hearing aids.
Okay, good. All right, and everybody can hear me okay through Bill's microphone, right?
Did the alarm go on?
Somebody's in my house.
Okay, everybody's nodding. So, yeah, no, everybody's crisp and clear now. They obviously fixed the internet. So I was just about to say, isn't that a typical Telmex problem? He's talking to the support, and they're telling him they dialed down his speed. He's got because he hasn't paid the bill. He says, "No, I have paid the bill." And they go and look, and they go, "Oh, you have paid the bill. Well, let's turn it back up," which is like the classic thing with Telmex is they turn off because you haven't paid.
Oops. No, we can hear you again.
But if you do bring this down, in the lower left-hand corner is manage, that button manage. If you click on that, it takes you
good except Terry.
Mhm. So that sounds exciting about getting a new computer for you.
Well, I need to discuss an opinion.
Yeah, let's talk more about that, Chester.
Okay, let me go back over my situation. Computer is 27-inch Apple, all in one. It's been a wonderful. I'm considering using that laptop as my primary computer and attaching that to a 39-inch smart TV and having the 39-inch TV as my monitor.
That sounds like a good solution to me.
Or should I try to buy a new 42-inch, a 27-inch
because to be pushing it off to, did we just have another problem? There we go. Okay. Should be pushing it off to YouTube, but it keeps failing every time this fails. Every time we get disconnected, this gets disconnected.
Paul, how was
But
breakfast?
Breakfast was excellent.
Totally worth it.
Everything I hoped it would be.
Chilaquiles and all that?
Oh, chilaquiles.
Wait, finish the thought with Chester. That little computer, whatever computer you're connecting to that TV, the audio and the video is going to pass through that HDMI port. So you'll use the TV speakers as your audio. And so it won't matter whether the little computer hidden behind it has speakers, or I wouldn't be using the laptop speakers anyway, because that's not going to be enough volume for you. But as soon as you plug in that cable, all that sound will be passed off to the TV set.
He's muted. You can't hear him.
Where do you see those little computers? What would you look for?
Well, the one I'm thinking specifically, I've had some experience with is called the Nook, the Intel Nook. It's an NUC, and they have a whole line of them.
Like Nanook of the North.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe it's only in Alaska.
Don't you eat that yellow snow?
Maybe it's only in
That's
Alaska.
Intel NUC.
Yeah, NUC, and I don't know if I'm specifically recommending that to you, but you could be looking in that form factor. They're these little tiny boxes that take very little electricity. They're very powerful. We're still talking about Intel technology, so it does need cooling. You do need to keep it dust free, or the fan will fill up with dust. Yeah, all the things that you worry about in a PC right now anyway.
What operating system would you?
It would be Windows 10. Well, it'd probably end up with Windows 11 since it's new.
The nice thing about using my laptop is that all of my programs are already installed.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't have to buy anything new. You can just plug it right in. I think your keyboard and mouse from the Macintosh should plug right into it as well. So without buying a thing, you could just push it over to the TV set.
Give it a try anyway.
But I'm going to experiment, play with it. I was just trying to get some opinions, and thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, have we got any other topics? Let's see. It's 10:30 over here. Cheryl's raising her hand.
Yeah,
Not literally, not virtually, but literally raising her hand.
there, I'll do both.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so my AT&T phone, ever since we've come into Mexico, has been really screwy. I send messages, you know, the green icon, and it's messages. For example, I sent one this morning. I get notices saying failed to send, and the option to send as a text message.
It's an iPhone.
Well, what the heck kind of message was I trying to send that it wasn't a text message?
You look like you're staring off into the heavens.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Scott, guys. Sorry. Not into the heavens. I was looking at Scott.
God help me.
Take this
Scott's not up
iPhone. Anyway, so yesterday I thought I was messaging with people. They're all sitting there, nothing going through. When I finally walk back into our home where I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, all my messages from the whole day go.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So we've got a couple of different things. This is a good topic.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of different things that's going on here. One of the first things that everybody needs to be aware of, you have an iPhone.
I do.
And iPhone supports its own messaging system.
Oh.
So it's separate from what all the Androids are using. It is an Apple system. And you can actually, there's an indicator in your messages of who you're texting with, and it's this blue-green
Yes.
bubble situation. You've probably heard of it before. So when you got green bubbles, you're texting with somebody that's not on Apple's messaging system. And when you've got blue bubbles, you're texting with somebody that uses the Apple messaging system. Now, the Apple messaging system goes across data. So if you're having trouble getting internet data, then you wouldn't be able to use the Apple system. So I suspect the problem you're having lies in that area. You're out in the world trying to text from your leaving the phone because data's not working for you.
AT&T, LTE.
Are you able to surf the internet? Because that would be one way to test and see if you have data. Are you able to bring up web pages, check your email on your phone?
Very, very slow.
Well,
But I've turned off.
turn off Wi-Fi.
But it's on.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, as long as it's not connected, it should be using
The data.
It should be using your AT&T data, and it's not. Now, sometimes we have these kinds of problems as we go international. I have had for the longest time with my Android phone a problem like this, where in Anchorage I was having to restart my phone in different. So like in the cell by the bed and breakfast, I restarted it there. Now I can use data. Now I can make phone calls. Everything seems to be working. I go for a run on the bike trail. I get out of that cell. I get into another cell. I've lost connectivity. And the only solution I found was to restart or to go into airplane mode, come out of it. I'm not saying this would fix your problem, Cheryl, but I am saying that these kinds of problems with international planes, it might be a matter of being in a different cell. In fact, it was supposed to be the next iteration of the exact same phone. I looked up all the antennas, all the frequencies, they're identical. You should be able to move this chip from one phone to the other. She moves it from one phone to the other. She lives on the Caracol. The phone AT&T. It can see Telcel, but it can't see AT&T. She puts the chip back into the other phone. The phone sees both networks. Now, my theory is that one of her antennas in this brand new phone is not correct. Because you have to choose frequencies to put services on. still just trying to make this thing work. With this much internet. Look at that. I wonder if I need this other computer. I wonder if I can do it all just with this computer. Well, we're here again. Chester's still with us. Judy, where's Judy's disappeared?
Cheryl's not hooked up.
Cheryl's not hooked up.
Bill's here.
We're reaching the end of our meeting.
I'm here and I'm gone. Bye.
Bye.
That was
Hi, Judy.
That was quick and easy. We didn't get to any of these topics. I think I'll share them all or save them all for next week.
yeah. There you go for those dead spots.
That's
What
right.
about some recommendations?
The
We can-
recommendations I had was for a little app on an iPhone that lets you make time lapse videos, and it's kind of cool. Just something to play with. And I've started a time lapse off my front deck every morning at 6:30, 7 o'clock. I do a shot.
This is the recapture app.
Yeah, recapture app. Keep going. I don't know. That's not mine.
That's not your oh yeah. Well,
No, that came
I've got yours in the document here. If you guys bring
So,
up the
yeah.
document, this
It
is
should play right there. That'll play, and it plays right now. That's each morning. There's a different shot.
you guys see that changing? It's a GIF.
Yeah, it's a GIF. Sorry, GIF.
GIF is peanut butter.
Anyway, I've made myself a promise. I'm going to take a shot off this deck every morning and make a little GIF.
Wow.
And it's fun to play with. You know.
Does the app have the ability for you to come back and reposition the camera and it
Yes.
figures out?
Yes, what it does, if you're standing in the same spot, approximately, you say recapture or something, and it overlays it on your original, and you line it up.
Oh, so you do the lining up.
The
Absolutely.
registration, yeah.
Hmm?
Registration. they
Yeah,
call it.
well, you get it as close as possible. You take the picture. You have the option of save or align, and align kicks it into the right spot.
Wow.
As long as you're close.
Have you used this before?
No, but no, a lot better than what I had. It was an editor where I could open up a number of
Pictures
photos
and lay them on.
and lay them on to each other. Yeah.
But
Okay. But this is cool because
It
what
is
this
cool.
means is you could say you did like a hike 3 days a week. You could hike up to that same point, and it's like a transparent layer, right? Where
Yes,
you're able to
it
see
is.
the old picture, and now you can focus in on where the new picture is going to
Yeah,
be,
that's
and it
exactly-
helps you line it up.
And well, you take the picture and you be off just a little, and then you hit align, and it goes, and it kicks it into the right spot.
That's awesome.
But
That's
the,
nice.
the only problem I've had with it is if you take one by mistake, do something wrong. I cannot find a way of deleting that particular picture. I cannot figure out how to delete it. And I'm not unskilled at these things, and it has beyond me how to get rid of one of the pictures that you don't want.
Wait a second, don't they exist in your photo gallery?
No, well, I can't find them.
Oh, really?
They exist someplace else. Now, I maybe go to look up the photo app spot, and they're storing them somewhere, but they're not in the photos,
Yeah, you could use that Files app
and find it.
and maybe traverse through your storage and see if it's
something.
sitting there.
It's somewhere, and I, because I messed up a couple that I tried before, and I got one or two bad ones in there, and I can't get rid of them.
Well, that sounds like a very useful app. I'm gonna
Well,
have to
it's
play
kind of
with
fun. If you go to their site, they have examples, and the one example is the same spot for the whole year, and it's a picture of a tree as it changes. Street and change.
You have to put them in a certain order?
No, it puts them in the order you take them. Just go down to that site and play with it for a while, and then download it. And it like I say, it's a fun little thing to play with.
Mhm.
Until you get bored, and then you quit.
Well, do we have any other recommendations out there?
We watched The English.
The English.
It's a Western miniseries.
Oh,
It's different. I wouldn't say I was ecstatic about it, but it was watchable. It was one of those ones you start watching, you got to keep going just to see what happens.
What platform?
Amazon Prime.
It was Prime.
Yeah, we watched it on Amazon Prime. The description was all about a character that I thought was not the main character.
No, he wasn't.
You know, Scott showed it, I think, last week, or maybe it was the week before, but The English. And it talked about a British man and trying to set up a different kind of cattle operation in
Yeah.
a country that nobody wanted them.
oh,
And
that's right.
It basically was about this native gentleman and the English woman. And there were some very, very strange, bizarre happenings, like with mutilations of animals and really whacked out
And
people.
Didn't seem to be quite connected in the storyline. It's sort of like a little offshoot, and then that would be it. And it would come along and go another offshoot the other way. I don't know.
So we were really left with, what is this about? And it turns out that there was
No, don't be
an
spoiling it.
incident that created a condition
Oh,
in
come
these
on.
people.
Just give it up.
that
You mean they're radioactive now?
sort of
Close.
a sci-fi brain would think
Anyway,
that.
the other thing, we reached the end of Andor, and we're in remission.
Have you already rewatched it all?
No, not yet.
What an amazing story that
Well,
turned into.
What I really liked about it is I could still remember what the character was at the end. That you know, like lots of times you get lost, you lose these characters. This one, it was solid enough
cohesive,
that you
yeah.
could follow the whole thing. You know, I liked it.
Yeah, no, I think a really, really great storytelling. You know, the guy that wrote that is the guy that wrote the Bourne Identity series,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
and he's not a Star Wars fan. He's
there was a lot of Russian influence and spy stuff, as opposed to and conspiracies and
well,
big
and,
guys.
and not
they had a bank job in it.
Yes,
they had a prison break
yes.
in it. They had espionage happening in it.
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a huge amount of computer generated stuff. It was a lot more story
Yeah.
and characters rather than
When a lot
big
of
explosion.
like you're saying, it was easy to keep track.
Yes.
A lot of character building.
Yes.
So much in Star Wars is world building, but the characters are just kind of there. They're
Yeah.
like, we're jumping into somebody's life and we're going on this adventure. And at the end of the adventure, it was the adventure that mattered, not necessarily the people who went on it. And in this, it was just like you really got to know each one. I love the ending. My kids are just jumping up and down on the couch when she comes out in the funeral procession. And it's just like, nobody was there to fight, but apparently they were. If you haven't watched Andor yet, you have to watch Andor. Yeah, Jim.
That's actually what I was asking. I had to step away for a minute. I wanted to know what we were talking about. It's Andor. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most different Star Wars properties they've made so far.
And one of the better ones, I thought.
Yeah, I think it's really.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it is leading up to the movie Rogue One, the standalone movie.
Yeah.
That where it's, I don't think it's any spoiler to say everyone dies in the end. It's the only Star Wars movie where everybody dies at the end.
No sequel.
No, that's right. We fell in love with these characters, and after 2 hours, they're gone. And everybody's like, wait a second.
So they went as a prequel and
Yeah.
built them again.
Well, and what they didn't do with this, which is awesome, because they kind of screwed up with the Solo movie, because that's a prequel.
Yeah.
But they kind of butted it up right up into the adventures. They don't have a lot of wiggle room between the end of Solo and the beginning of the Star Wars original series. Whereas this, they left enough room that they could do a lot of story before you get into Rogue One.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a lot of story room in there. A lot of seasons in there.
Yeah, they can keep it going. They're definitely doing the second season.
And we got to the end of House of Dragons as well.
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten into that yet.
We?
Oh, I did. Sorry, she doesn't watch. They get when you get into the real blood and guts one. She doesn't watch.
You know that the Amazon one
I
is
like when
really
the
good.
dragons fry people.
Melt them.
So we've been watching period pieces as usual. One in sort of a Tudor obsession. It's about Anne Boleyn, Blood, Sex, and Royalty.
Ooh.
Okay, and then there's then the other ones are 18th century is F.E. Gray. It's pretty well done. Jim.
That's scratching.
Are you there, Jim?
Yeah, nothing.
Oh yeah, no, we got disconnected. Internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, you're gone.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Next week.
next week.
Okay, I see him now. Oh,
Do we have to leave
The
the
other
meeting
Jim
and
is
come
gone.
back in?
No.
we may have to just call this meeting.
Good night.
Call it what?
Call it technical problems and get out of here.
Call it done.
See you next week.
Everything we missed this week, we will try and do next week.
Oh, hey, Scott.
Yes.
So I'll call you after this is after the meeting is over.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good. All right.
Thanks.
Talk to you soon. All right, we did it again. That was the San Carlos Computer Club coming at you live from Tequila's. We're going to be back here next week, Tuesday at 10 a.m. Until then, tech on.